talk tonight?
Yes. It's recording, but it's not going live, so. Go ahead.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Meeting on July 22nd comes to order, and we've got 3 members present, so we don't have, until we have a 4th, we can't vote on anything. But since you're our guest, you can start up.
Great.
Please let us know who you are and.
Good evening, John Latcher, Chairman of the Litchfield Mosquito Control District. How are you tonight?
Good to meet you, Joe.
Great. Just wanted to bring your attention that Triple E was first spotted in Massachusetts already, on the southeast part of Massachusetts. So it really is on its way here, if it's not here already. I just wanted to try to maybe convey to you, maybe to the coaches and all your recreational facilities, that to remind the children there that to use DEET, and really try to follow be proactive rather than reactive. I don't know how late the people are out there right now, but are they out there at dusk or?
Yeah, they're all out there. I mean, all the fields are occupied right now.
They're occupied right now?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just a reminder to maybe mention to the coaches or whoever's in charge down there at some of your facilities to let them know to try to protect themselves the best way possible. And they're obviously out there running around, so when they're sweating and stuff, that attracts mosquitoes even more. I think last year or so we were talking maybe about if you guys might be interested in maybe barrier spraying some of the, especially the new soccer field. That gets probably the most use right now. Is that correct? Or?
And you said, has it been sprayed now, would you say?
No, I said, I believe I talked to this board last year in regards to barrier spraying.
Right.
And we really haven't heard anything from you as far as that was concerned. I was just wondering if you guys are still interested in that, or do you have any type of budget for doing that, or?
We don't have anything in our budget for spraying, and we typically defer to the selectmen.
Have you had any positive? Sorry. Have you had any positive tests back yet?
No, not yet.
But he said, he opened up saying Massachusetts just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
southeast Massachusetts, but that still doesn't mean that it's not here.
All right.
It's just a matter of, that we just haven't caught the ones that might have it.
Now, we've had positive tests 3 years or 4 years?
We had one last year. The last few years before that, we didn't have any,
Okay.
but we did have one last year. One pool tested positive for Triple E.
Now, we've done barrier spraying the last, how many years in a row?
Excuse me, I didn't hear.
How many years have we done barrier spraying?
Well, most of the barrier spraying that we've done is for the school district.
Right.
We haven't done much for the recreation, and that's just one of my reasons for being here. I just wonder if you guys might be interested in doing something for your fields.
My
I thought every
recollection,
time-
we did it the same time as the school
Yeah.
each year. They did our fields as well.
Did they do the new field too, the new soccer field? I wasn't aware
No,
of
it
it.
wasn't in use. No,
All right.
it will be this year.
I think as a selectman, we need to have a better discussion about this and about bolstering the budget for the mosquito district. Because I'm not a big fan of waiting until we're positive before we do anything. I mean, I thought we were positive the last 3 years in a row.
No, just last year was the first one, and a few years before that, like I believe 3 years before that.
Yeah.
We had another positive test,
Okay.
but before that,
Was there something else though? I
One
thought there was
last
something else the year before. I don't know if it was Triple E, maybe it was West Nile or something.
well, West Nile was in Nashua, around that area, that they tested positive for West Nile and stuff.
But something triggered spraying almost, I think the last 4 years in a row
Well,
we've had
we
barrier
did
spraying.
the 275th anniversary in town. We did that for the people that were cutting through the woods over by
Yep.
LMS and stuff. So,
is there a better time of year to do the spraying? I mean, should we have done it earlier on in the spring, or?
Triple E usually, the highest months are between July and October,
Okay.
so.
And how long does
obviously
the
July
barrier
is almost-
spraying last? 6 weeks, right?
Excuse me?
Barrier spraying usually lasts about 6 weeks.
Depending on the weather and stuff. You get a lot of rain and stuff, obviously it diminishes the effect of it. But another thing I just wanted to bring to your attention is your trash barrels and stuff like that, filling up with water. I went down there, I think about a month and a half ago, and few of them had water in them, and you had a tarp out there that had probably, I would guess, probably around 200 gallons of water on it, just sitting there. And I managed to drain it off myself with a few other people. So those are the types of things that we might want to really,
Is that the big
Pay attention.
ice rink top, the white tarp?
yes, yes. Those are some of the things that we want to try to, things that we can control. Obviously, we can't control something that's happening out in the middle of the woods. But stuff that we can control, I really appreciate that you guys would pay attention to that.
What's the downside to us trying to barrier spray it on a regular basis and put it in our budget?
Yeah,
I don't-
that's one of the questions that I wanted to ask.
I don't think the selectmen would allow that to happen. I think it would just be funded into the mosquito district budget and done that way.
Makes more sense.
Because we have a mosquito district, I don't know that you'd be allowed to be in charge of money to take care of that. Do you know what I mean?
The last few budgets, we've had a line item for it, but we just haven't obviously put the money in, or we didn't have an exact figure, I guess, at that time, so.
I mean, I hate to say that I'd like to get more positive tests, because that's not what we want.
Right.
But in the effort that I'm more of a proactive person than a reactive person.
Right.
I'm all for spraying.
So I think as a group up here, we've always been fine. Let us know when and take it away.
So what's the, you said the school has or will be doing the spraying?
The school has done it pretty much every single year.
And when is
Yeah.
their
They
scheduled?
actually did it when we tested positive for triple E, not the last time, but the previous time, where they actually found triple E
Are they due
pretty
to,
close to where Campbell High School was, so.
okay, are they due to be sprayed between now and October, anytime?
I haven't get in touch with the superintendent yet, but I would guess that they would do it again.
So they'll cover the high school fields, they'll cover LMS, I'm
LMS,
assuming that
Griffin, yeah.
side field,
Griffin,
and then Griffin, all the soccer fields and the baseball field.
right,
So we'd be responsible for,
Corning,
Corning, Jeff.
right.
Dara.
Dara, Brickyard, thank
So we
you.
got 5.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, we didn't
Maybe
spray
the
Jeff
tennis
last year
courts.
because Jeff doesn't get used in the fall.
Okay.
Maybe the tennis courts too, I don't know.
Would that just encompass Sawmill anyhow, if we did that perimeter spraying, I'm assuming it would?
I don't know this for sure, but I don't think the school's spraying. I'm pretty sure it's coming through your contractor. Through the
No, it
contract
was-
that we have.
Well, what happened is that the contractor actually did that as a service to the town for free.
I know.
Right.
I think he's been abused in that aspect. Because I believe he's done that every time we've asked.
All except for last year. I believe the school district paid for that.
Okay,
I understand.
that I don't know.
Because I just been elected chair of the district, so I'm kind of going over some of the stuff. But as far as I can remember, is the school district paid for the last one.
Would you be available to come to a selectmen's meeting in the future?
Sure.
I'm not going to be there on Monday, so it would be 2 weeks after that.
Yep.
I will ask if we can get you on, and we'll make sure that you get contacted if we do.
All right.
Because I'm all for having this conversation.
And I can also get Michael Morrison maybe to come down too, the contractor for the town.
He's
Maybe-
from Maine, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't have any problem coming down here. When he's working in town, he'd stop in.
Okay, so
But,
we'll see if we can get it all to jive.
Yeah.
Just,
And,
I mean, as
um,
long as we know it cost, right? And just,
Well, the town would have to take care of it. I'm sure you guys don't have the budget for it anyway, and we would want it cycled through them.
right.
Because that's the only way to really interpret it is through the mosquito district budget anyway.
But as part of them doing the next year's budget, I mean, as a group, we could support their budget.
Exactly.
To spray the rec fields, we could put a, recommendation to the budget committee, hey, we're all for this.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say yes, but I'm pretty sure that it would have to go out to the voter. But on the same token, I don't know nowadays that the majority is the way they used to be with, I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to get sick.
Right.
And people don't want to be covered in DEET all the time too, because DEET
Exactly.
is still, it's got side effects that you don't,
Exactly.
I mean, the barrier spraying impacts us for what, 48 hours we stay up the fields, or 24 hours?
Yeah.
That's it. We just clear the fields for a couple of days and then get back to using them and
Right.
have less risk.
Nowadays, there's companies that spray your backyard for you,
Right.
so.
They do, yeah. So, yeah, just, so you can keep that stuff in mind, that I would really appreciate that. The barrels and the tarps, any buckets, anything that's laying around that could fill with water, is a producer for mosquitoes, so.
Do you have something like,
Mosquitoes are bad.
something as far as an electronic flyer or something that we could actually forward to all of the groups in town?
Well, actually, about a month or so ago, we distributed probably over 1,000 pieces of literature to all the schools, Griffin School, LMS, and some went to Campbell. We had a couple of posters and a limited amount of brochures, but most of them went to the elementary school and the middle school. And from what I've heard from different parents, they did end up getting home, so so that's a good thing. So people are aware of,
Right.
of the,
I mean, if we can get if you have any more, I can at least scan it in and send it to each league, and they can forward it to coaches and parents and.
Right. It's also available on the Department of Health and Human Services website.
Okay.
Actually, if you go to our website, there's a whole list of things on our website. And it'll just take it, the link will take you right to the Department of Health and Human Services. And they have printable stuff on there.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Right.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
So, we have no secretary, so we have no minutes from last meeting. Hopefully she can get it to us for the next meeting, as it all goes. Any old business anybody wants to go over?
I had a question. I wish Kevin was here because I can't recall. Obviously, I know that he had discussion about the porta potties and doing work with that, and the discussion about the dumpster. Now, I know the dumpster's been moved way down on Dara, almost away from the camera angle. And I'm wondering, did anyone ask that to be moved down there? I mean, why is it all the way down?
Kevin wanted.
Kevin had wanted it down
Yeah.
there, away from the camera.
He wanted it away from the access into Derek, because he thought it was giving people an opportunity to just throw the junk in as they were heading in. He thought maybe that would reduce some of the junk that was happening, and
It's also insects.
the mess
What's
that was
And
created.
plus the bees and the flies and stuff, you're not walking
Right,
back.
I just didn't know if there was, because of still the continued dumping and abuse of it, and I can't recall what he said, and I'm not sure if anyone else can, about putting it inside the fence, more in camera range.
I think in our discussion, and it may or may not have been here, he said, do you mind if I move it and just try something different? We're still gonna get the house a little trash. He just
Yeah.
didn't like the junk outside where everybody's walking by it. So by putting it in the corner, at least if it gets buried, we contact them, they come and do a pickup, and we don't have to worry about.
But do we
The
have the
mess.
camera in the back of the building? I thought we had a camera angle in the back of the building.
Yeah, it's pointing in the other direction. And I mean, to be honest, we're not gonna sit there and, I mean, it takes a long time to look through all the video.
Right.
So we're gonna have to have somebody look for like through 12 hours of video to find out who dumped, and if we don't know what day it was, to sit through 4 or 5 days worth of video to see who's dumping trash probably wouldn't be.
Okay, so we want to just keep it still outside. I just think it's still being abused. I don't know about locks or,
I don't know if we can actually stop that,
okay.
really, when it comes down to it. If we lock it, that's gonna do what they do in the cities. People throw their trash outside the dumpster and just leave it
Yeah,
there.
they'll throw it on the side of the road. And
So let me ask an interesting question. Why do we have a dumpster down there?
Because there's always been one, and we don't really have a trash service coming out of Dara. And right now, we're struggling with that trash service at the new fields. And the dump's located right there. Can't get the barrels there emptied on a regular basis, so when we debated it with Kevin and everything else, he's like, nah, you gotta leave it there, you're just gonna get yourself in more problems, we'll have more trash to pick up and everything else, and I think he has a good point. For the amount of money it costs us to have it dumped,
What's it cost to have it dumped and how often we dump it?
I actually knew this last year. I'd have to look it up. It's done,
Well, it's $1,200 a year is our line item for it, right?
and I almost want to say, I don't know if it's once a month or every 2 weeks.
It's every 2 weeks during
The summertime?
winter
no, during
and summer, and less during the spring and no.
Yeah.
Summer is less. Winter, spring is 2 times every 2 weeks, and then summer and fall it's every month. Because it gets a lot of use in the spring with softball. There's not as
Right.
much softball in the summertime. Basketball and all the other, everybody's using that the hall all winter long. So
I have it written down
Every
somewhere.
banquet or function we have in there, you know, gets multi-bags of trash. I don't know.
What kind of vehicles Ben drive?
He doesn't have a truck.
Ah.
We tried that.
I know.
So my thought, and I talked to Kevin about it, is, I don't know if you've been in Derry on 28, across the street from St. Thomas Church. The Knights of Columbus do a can drive, and they took a trailer and they put some fencing around it, and basically made this thing where people can just throw their cans in. If we made a couple of those, just take some trailers and just throw it there, and just fill that, and just have somebody, you know, I don't know if somebody from the town with a hitch can just drag that up to the dump, and we can get rid of it, and, I mean, save that money. And if it's $200 a year, whatever we pay an employee to do it, it's $1,000 that we're saving.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. It's right next door to the ice cream stand in Derry.
Yeah.
But same thing, as you said earlier, the bees coming out of the dumpsters and everything else, they have that same issue up there with those people throwing cans in that still have soda. and
Right,
that
I'm just
creates a
saying,
whole problem.
I'm just saying as far as money savings,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just gonna be the same as a dumpster, but it's basically just a portable dumpster. And you don't have to do it with chain link, you can do it with wood or whatever, but just get something that you can hook up in a trailer, so if you don't have a pickup truck, you just,
The way our little vandals would do it, I could just imagine what they're gonna do with the little trailer.
I can't even imagine.
yeah.
Just gonna take it with them.
Well, if they haven't taken the picnic tables yet, I think they're pretty safe.
It's great. Please don't encourage.
Hopefully they don't watch TV
Um,
or this. Okay, just a question. I saw that it had been really moved. I'm like, gosh, it seems like it's further away from the cameras. Okay. So,
It's just trying different things.
Yeah.
That's all. It's gonna keep playing with the building and trying to do whatever he can to make it work.
okay.
So.
I did, on the way here, I got a call from Jason Brennan, because they were going down to set up the nets for volleyball. We had approved volleyball Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and pickleball was in there. Saying, no, we've got the hall on Tuesdays and Thursday nights from 6 to 8, which,
Was the calendar updated?
there's nothing on the calendar right
Nothing
now.
on the calendar, okay. And that's what I noticed, like, last week when I pinged you, for some
Yeah.
reason it was all grayed out. You couldn't do anything on it for
Yeah,
like 3 of the
it was-
weeks.
It's weird, I gotta go back and find out what's going on, but, I know the pickleball had requested Tuesday, a couple of nights a week. And basically the message to them was, and they said, well, we just wanna use it because nobody's using it right now. If somebody wants to use it, then we'll give it up, no problem. But the problem is with the system is if there's something scheduled on there for 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, nobody can request that time because something's already scheduled in there. So by scheduling them for it, it basically blocks everybody out. Nobody's gonna be able to request it. So we never scheduled them for it. We just said if it's not being used, use it, basically. But, so now I gotta contact Janet, but, because we didn't approve, I just wanna make sure they have not been approved for 6 to 8.
No, we did approve the.
I'm sorry, volleyball was
Volleyball,
approved.
Right, okay.
We did vote on to approve the volleyball to be in there.
And I did find, that's how I found Jason's contact information, because I did see our approval.
Yeah.
But I don't recall what we've approved pickleball for. That's what I don't recall.
Well, I think as we've gone along, we've pretty much opened the gym up and it's available.
Right.
Great. But
Right. They've just been expanding their hours, they haven't been putting requests in, they've just been
Right.
sort of filling. Okay, so I'm gonna contact her, just let her know that it is volleyball on Tuesdays and Thursday nights until the end of August.
okay. Got anything for us?
Nope.
You gonna do?
The,
Go ahead.
the email from Mike Bosky, I wrote down there tonight. I don't know what to say. I mean, the Vandals are hitting different things. I don't know.
I spoke to Jason after I read that today,
Okay,
so Jason's gonna relay it to the chief.
yeah. I mean, I was just down there the other day walking my
Oh,
dog, and I saw a patrol go through. I mean, they're driving through, they're patrolling the area.
But the amount of damage and the amount of tagging and junk that's happened in town in the last 3 months has been more than I can remember in the last 10 years.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, well, no, remember right when we were painting the hall, when we painted the hall the first time?
Right.
That summer was awful.
There, but it was only in one location.
Yeah.
This is all over town. I mean, this is Jeff Lane, Newfield, Dara Pond. And I assume the schools are getting hit too.
Haven't heard.
I know the back of LMS, the LMS sign was hit. I don't know why the back, but
So, I know the chief's aware, I know
they did catch the
Jason.
first kids that did it, right?
they got some kids on camera, I'm not sure.
I think with the widespread area, it's just numerous.
Well, the kids that were doing the stupid face thing, those kids got caught. How, I don't know, but I know that Kevin and one of the police officers said they were caught. And they're looking at doing community service.
I know I volunteered to
Oh,
walk
yeah.
them through community service.
So, my thought is, the new tagging at Talent, there's your community service,
They can clean it up.
well, it's not ours, who cares, you did it, somebody else took care of yours, you're gonna take care of this, and just have them paint those walls.
Agree.
Now, the handicap sign has been put back in place. The bike rack is slanted and kind of exposed.
yeah.
I mean, do we just ask
Well,
Ben to
the
go
one at
down
Dar-
and,
What about the one at Dara? The one at Dara was out.
yeah, where'd that go? Is that just, I haven't noticed it.
It was back
Was it
up
put
again,
back
is
in?
it out again?
Was
I
it-
don't know, no.
I don't know. I
It was
haven't-
up and standing on the concrete blocks.
Was
but
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to it. I don't know.
That thing is only in there, they only have like 6 inches of concrete in that.
It's just
Did
supposed
we
to be
put
a
'em in,
bike
or did
rack. Yeah.
But I mean,
Keith put them in?
you put a bike against the thing's just gonna tip, you go 6 inches in the ground, it's not gonna do very much.
I don't think that's why they got knocked over then.
Oh, but, right where it is, you plow, and the snow hits that thing, it's just gonna go over every single time.
We can try and reset them deeper. Grab an auger, put a hole in the ground, and put some more concrete down.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I didn't notice, unless he's talking about the emergency entrance, the gate looked fine. So unless he's talking about the far end of the field, which I didn't drive all the way down there, I didn't notice anything
But it
wrong.
would be new, I mean, I was
The
down
gate.
there a week and a half ago.
I was down there
I
tonight.
was at the far end and there was no issues, so.
Yeah, I was there tonight just because I was driving by, and I said, let's go down, and it looked fine.
Yeah,
So it
we'll
must be the emergency.
Yeah, we'll just keep feeding the information,
Yep,
that's all you can do.
yep, so.
Take pictures if you want, go from there.
Obviously, you saw that celebrity softball thing went well. They were happy. So, and that's the only thing. And we approved the little soccer. I haven't been by all week to see that little soccer cub camp
Right.
up on Dara. I don't know if anyone's seen it. But those are the only things that have been going on. And requests. I didn't check the mailbox.
I didn't either.
Should I check quickly to see if there's anything?
Sure.
Just to make sure we
Future
don't miss a
items,
vote, because we're not going to get together for another.
Future items for us of budget, we've just gotta start looking
Okay.
towards our budget in the fall. And
Well, we also need to look at, with the whole background check thing,
What?
well,
Right now, the sports leagues are responsible for that.
right, but do we have to enforce it somehow?
It's only for camps.
I thought it was any organized activity.
Camps. It's organized for camps. Not with me.
I have one.
Steve does, of course.
I would just get this one.
That one.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah, the agreement last year with the organizations was you have to control any camps that you run. When we just approved the most recent camp going, they already had background checks, the parents that were involved. So that covered us, and that's the notification, that's the process. Beyond that, the state wants basically for us to have a control in place. They haven't set up new rules yet, there's still nothing on the website was due last year. I'm not sure where that's gonna go.
A lot of times they pass things and then figure out what they're gonna do with it.
That's what it says on the website.
Does it?
Oh, yeah. It rules, the law's in place, we don't know how we're gonna administer it yet, and we'll let you know when we figure it out.
We also have to come up with for this fall, we have to put out to bid the,
New 2-year bid.
Yeah.
Stay with 2 years again? I'd prefer it, it was easier. I think the budget committee recommended that as well.
I think it's just bills.
No, I don't want bills. That all
Should
just
I put it
stays.
back in there, or?
Yep, that all just stays in there. Kevin takes
Should I
care
put
of
it back
those.
in?
Yeah, if it's just bills, Kevin does those.
Frisbee, union leader,
Reappointments.
that's just Sandy Vance, I don't know. John Bryant,
Oh, that's your new appointment papers?
oh, okay. You and Sandy?
We keep a copy of this, or do you guys keep it?
That's probably your copy. Does it look like fresh ink? Or
What's
does it-
that?
Does it look like fresh ink, or has it been copied?
Looks like fresh ink.
Yeah, then, no.
All right, I'll give Sandy hers.
This seems rather old. That has to be,
Oh, that's Ben's. Yeah, he signed off on that.
yeah,
We
that's
don't keep
dated
this.
March.
Yeah, that would stay here.
Okay, that's it.
Do we have a file for those?
I think
I thought
Terry
this stuff
keeps a
stayed
separate
here.
I
file.
think they do.
I don't
Has to
want to
Sugar
know.
Valley, I don't know if you want it.
So do we know what the schedule is for budgets this fall, like when we need to, have they started talking about when we need to have things in and warrant articles, all that good stuff?
The only thing that we've talked about is, possible workshop where we would try to bang out some of them all on a Saturday. Sometime in September, I believe, is what we're aiming for. But, I don't know. When did you have to have it in last year?
What's that?
When did you have to have it in last year?
It was like mid to late September, right?
Yeah, late September, early October. Just a few weeks, because we don't have any big projects going on, so it's a
I
little
would
bit
say
easier.
as soon as you can, start working on it so it can be ready as soon as it needs to be.
I think the biggest issue we're gonna have is getting the bid back out. I'll try to contact Jason this week and see if we can just get that out now,
Mhm.
so it can be in the budget
But
within
well,
actual.
let's remove the infield maintenance thing.
Correct. Yeah, we all agreed on that already. Yeah, that was pointless, so. I'll leave this alone,
Oh, okay,
see if it's worthy of anything.
should I put the stuff
It's
back
too much-
in?
Too much stuff to sit here and try and figure it out
Okay.
right now. Anybody else have anything else? Make a motion to adjourn then. All in favor?
Yep.
400.
All
Have a
right,
great night.
thank you.
Thanks for coming.